Hey, Aaron. Hope you're healthy and well, and the family's all doing okay. A lot has been made, obviously, about Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers, but obviously the Packers drafted a second-round running back. Just curious if you were surprised or even maybe disappointed to see that going into your final contract year and how that might affect things for you.
I know I have no control over that, so it doesn't disappoint me. I know they're bringing in competition to keep the rooms competitive, make sure everybody's competing and just raise the level of competition. So it's not that I'm surprised or anything. It's the NFL, and you never know what can happen.
Aaron, I'm wondering, I know last off season you got, local area high school QBs to throw you passes. How do you work out and train like that with the circumstances this year? And what are you kind of doing to fine tune those parts of your game during the pandemic?
You can still do that with social distancing. You can still be 6 feet apart with the quarterback. So, still been doing that with a couple of the high school quarterbacks as well. And then my dad created a little gym in the garage and getting it in. And then my trainer was able to open the gym just for me and my brother late night. So I've still been able to get it in. It's not been any different from any other off season because that's what I do. I relax with my family and I work out. So, but I hope everybody is staying safe during this time as well.
Hey, Aaron, you mentioned not having control over the Packers drafting another running back, but you do have control over your own performance after such a great year last year. What are your expectations for your next year, and how does the fact that you are going into last year, your deal, impact you in terms of motivation, focus, et cetera?
Whether it was my first year or my last year on the deal, I'm going to be just as motivated. As it doesn't change just because a contract is on the line for me. I'm going to continue to work and do everything in my power. And I trust my agency and the Packers to with that. I would love to be a lifelong Packer. And so, yeah, that's my take on that.
Hey, Aaron, a little bit, since you guys are virtual, what kind of benefit is the year two aspect of this for all of you on offense? And what kind of, not that it's an advantage, but I would imagine if you can look at last year as an example, that trying to learn everything and install everything, does it set you ahead, or do you feel like you guys will be able to hit the ground running when you do return, being that it's year two?
Yes, I do feel like we'll be able to hit the ground running. Like you said, it's year two. We have a year under our belt, and now that we've been doing our Zoom calls online and our meetings online, and we just really get a deeper dive into the playbook, and you get to see everything a little bit more in film and while you're running things, while the concepts are the way they are. And I feel like it's making our job easier. So when we go out there, everybody will be ready.
Hi, Aaron. So tell us what the rest of your day has been like during this safe at home thing. Because I tell you, I've never done so many dishes in my life. And are you like on an exercise bike or something like that right now?
No, I actually just finished working out on the field. That's what happened. I was trying to connect and I was on the field and my phone overheated. So, no, just been getting it in, really working on my craft, trying to become the best player I can become. But yeah, it's a lot more trash in the house than we've ever had. We have everybody home for the first time in a long time. So a lot more chores, a lot more dishes because you're in the house. But I'm enjoying my time with my family.
Hi, Aaron. Hope you're doing well. How concerned are you if there is going to be a season? And if there is one, how safe do you think you will feel out there? Plus having, I guess, no fans in the stands. Talk about that a little bit too, how strange that would be.
That would be very strange. The fans are what make the game. They are what gets the players going. They keep us going. So it'd be a little strange, but I think it bring back kind of like a little league feel when there's nobody at the games, except for your parents and things like that. I would feel comfortable going out there and playing, just because I know I take care of my body well enough. I make sure my hygiene is taken care of, washing my hands, taking the right precautions and the right steps to make sure my immune system is right. So I feel like my body is strong enough.
Hey, Aaron, thanks for doing this, man. I want to ask about the family. How are they all doing? And can you bring me through what it's like having a baby in the midst of a pandemic?
Having a baby in the midst of a pandemic, it was a little different. Most people get to have their families in the delivery room with them, and it was just me and my girlfriend Crystal, and but it's like, hey, here you guys go. You guys are parents. There's nobody else but you two. You guys made the baby, so it was pretty cool to see, though. I mean, I'm glad I was able to be here and still able to be here with my baby. He's doing great, healthy. So it's definitely been a blessing, but it's definitely been different as well. Going to like the first week checkups and things like that when only one parent can be in the room is a little different.
Hey, Aaron, want to ask you about being used as a receiver and kind of getting out in space and catching passes. Obviously, did more of that last year, career high in catches, and that was a big part of what worked when the offense was at its best. Now going into the second season in the system, do you have any sense if that's more of an emphasis as far as how you're going to be used, moving you around? And is that fun for you, getting into space and maybe not taking as much of a beating as you would maybe between the tackles over and over?
It definitely is fun getting out in space. I feel like anytime I can get out in space and have some open field, just room to work is going to be a good thing. I take my chances on that. And I feel like Coach LaFleur, when he came in last year, he let the running backs know, hey, you guys are going to be involved in the pass game, and it's something true. So I mean, I've been working to continue to work on my route and expand that and work on my hands. So I'm ready for whatever comes my way.
You said you wanted to be a lifelong Packer, but given how difficult it is for running backs, they either get paid big or they don't get paid at all. How realistic do you think that is?
I'm really not looking at the market. I'm just focused on myself. I feel like I can play at a really high and elite level for a very long time. So I'm just going to do what I can, and hopefully I can hopefully that leads to me being a Packer for life. I mean, that's my goal.
Hey, Aaron, I'm just curious. I know you took a lot of pride in playing all 16 games last year. Going into this offseason, were there any lessons from being able to do that you learned through that experience? And did that affect your offseason preparation at all, even though it is virtual?
18 games.
True. Sorry.
No, I'm messing with you. No, I mean, I'm doing the same things kind of I did last year because I feel like the things I did last off season helped me prepare and stay healthy for this past season to help me complete all 18 games and not have any problems. So just kind of continue to do that and continue and just work my craft on the field more so.
I was just wondering, since the draft, what conversations you've had with AJ or what you've kind of learned about him and how you feel your games might complement each other. And also, you mentioned your baby. If you had a name for the baby and a birth date, if you could give us that information, that'd be great.
April 17th, and he's a junior.
Okay.
I named him after me. Yes, sir. AJ, he's been great. I mean, he came in the first day, talking to him. He's already ready to learn. He's texting me. He's texting me trying to figure out the playbook as fast as possible so he can get it down. And he's just ready to learn. He's hungry. So I'm excited to work with him and help him as much as possible.
Hey, Aaron, congrats first so much on having the baby boy. And it seems like you guys are in a really good spot. Best to Crystal and the fam. It seems like you're also in a really good headspace just with you in the contract here. You say you're bet on yourself. And my question to you is what is your why? Why do you do this? Why do you have this mindset? How do you do it? And how has it gotten to you from where you were to where you are now?
I mean, just God and family. That's what motivates me. I feel like God put me on this planet to play football and to use my platform to do different things. And I mean, and my family, they've motivated me. They've been, I mean, think about it, how much time they've invested into your lives, playing sports, how much money they spent, how much money they spend on equipment when you're little. I mean, just things like that, and just making sure they're taken care of forever, my family's taken care of forever, is something else that motivates me.
I was wondering, going back to, you talked a little bit ago about being a receiver, being comfortable in space, et cetera. Did you notice teams play you any differently as the year went on? Obviously, there was that 4-game stretch that Devontae missed where you were featured heavily. But then in the second half of the season, you weren't as prominent in the passing game. Was that due to how defenses were playing you, or was that just the way Matt was drawing up the game plan?
A little bit. I think it's a little bit of both. You would start seeing them maybe before it would be a linebacker when I was out wide, and towards the middle of the season it started being a safety. Then later on it started being a corner. So they did. I would say they definitely switched up how they were playing me. Sometimes I would have a linebacker underneath with the safety help over the top as well. So just it is different coverages and different things like that that I think played a factor in that.
Yeah, Aaron, congrats on the new addition to the family. Just wondering, you're coming off such a great year, 1,500 plus yards rushing and receiving combined, 20 plus touchdowns, including playoffs. So what do you have in mind for an encore?
I mean, I want to win a Super Bowl. We went game short. I mean, it's not all about me. It's about the team, and I feel like we all felt like we came one game short. So I feel like that's all of our goals, and I'm focused on our team's main goal.
Hey, Aaron. Hope all is well with you. I know you've talked a lot about the contract, but how do you handle that? Are you able to totally block it out once the season starts? I know there's like Randall Cobb, for instance, said that it really weighed on him throughout that process. How do you avoid that?
I mean, I trust my agents, and I trust the Packers, and I just do what I can control, and I'll just continue to do what I've been doing. And I just, like I said, I trust them to get a deal done, and it's not up to me. It's nothing I can control. So as I was always told as a little kid, control what you can control. So if I can control what I can control, I feel like it'd be taken care of.
Hey, Aaron, thanks again for doing this, man. I think we all would tell you we really, really appreciate it. So thanks.
You're welcome.
As you've gone through your off-season program here with your great Zoom background, I'm wondering, have you gotten a feel for what the offense will look like this year as opposed to last year? Do you have a vibe on how different it might be, maybe more running even than last year? Can you give us kind of a glimpse into what the installation's been like and what kind of feeling you've gotten?
No, you don't. I mean, it's kind of right now we're kind of in a general breakdown of the offense, kind of expanding your football knowledge. It's not so much what's going to be so different from last year than this year. It's more breaking it down so players understand why we're doing this stuff and what kind of fronts they're in at what time and what blitz is coming. So it's more so that to expand our football knowledge, and it's helping because I mean, when you get in the game and you hear an offensive line call, you already know what they're doing and you already know where to take the ball.
Hey, Aaron, I wanted to follow up quickly. You mentioned your dad putting together that gym in your garage or his garage. Oh, can you just paint the picture for me what that looked like? And was it pulling stuff up from the basement, or how did he go about putting that together?
In El Paso, it's not very many basements, so the garage is a whole bunch of yoga mats just covered the garage. We bought a bench, a whole bunch of kettlebells, dumbbells, resistance bands, ladders, anything you can think of. It's like going back to being a little kid and back in the garage with your dad working out. And I mean, he's been there for a lot of the workouts, sitting there coaching me up. I also just recently bought a jugs machine, so he's out there in the garage shooting them to me. So we've been having a lot of fun.
Aaron, I think this is the longest we've gone talking to you without hearing about Jamal. How's he doing, and how do you think this increased competition in the running back room will bring the best out of him, per se?
My guy Jamal, I miss Jamal. No, I talk to him often. He's doing really good. He's been working. So I'm proud of him. I don't know if you guys have seen some of the videos he's been posting, but he's really been getting after it. And I forgot the second part of your question.
Oh, I was just saying, how do you think AJ's arrival and kind of that increased competition in the room will not motivate him, but kind of bring the best out of him?
I mean, when Jamal rises to competition, I mean, every day we go to practice and we bring the best out of each other. So just because another person's coming in doesn't mean he's gonna stop doing what he does. He's gonna continue to work. He's gonna continue to work on his craft and continue to compete and get better and push the guys around him.
Aaron, I know you guys are obviously working out and doing the meetings. What's the expectation for when you get back to Lambeau? I mean, you aren't doing the 11-on-11 stuff, knowing where bodies are, splits. Like, do you expect you guys to look differently or a little, excuse me, a little haggard? Or do the coaches kind of feel, hey, it should be able to hit the ground running? Or do you just kind of know it'll look a little rough for whenever that happens?
I kind of feel like it'll hit the ground running. I mean, it's not a new offense for us. Last year was a new offense, so you're going out there kind of like, okay, what am I doing? Kind of not playing as comfortable. And so now, like, you've had all this time, you've been able to take a deep dive. So the only thing that you can't get from being there is the repetition or a coach showing you the exact way. I mean, you can see it on film, but it's like people learn differently. People can learn from film, or they can learn hands-on right there. So, I mean, and Coach LaFleur and A-Rod, they do a good job of that. And so, I mean, that's the biggest like challenge of not being there.
I was just wondering, we were talking to Aaron Rodgers a couple weeks ago. He mentioned how your offensive coordinator likes to kind of use a sense of humor in some of these Zoom sessions to keep y'all interested. What are if you have any specifics, what are some of the things that have happened in these Zoom sessions that have kind of kept y'all entertained, kept y'all interested?
I mean, he's singing, telling jokes, little movie clips. A couple coaches have brought their little kid in there for a little cameo. So I mean, it's cool to see the coaches at home. They're working, but they can still have their family there with them, and they look like they're having fun. So I'm enjoying the Zoom meetings and on the iPad and stuff.
Aaron, you had a hell of a season. Did you take any time at all to reflect on just what you accomplished? Not just the games played, but you led the NFL in touchdowns for like 60 scrimmage yards. You set records set by Jim Taylor. I mean, yeah, quite a year.
I did sit back a little bit, just a second, and reflected on the leading the league in touchdowns. Because that was one of my goals going into last year, and I had said it on the Rich Eisen show, and so when I said it, people were probably like, "Who is this guy? He's not even like a full-time starter," or like probably like laughing. And to just accomplish that and keep your goals and or achieve them, you set them high and achieve them. It feels good.